Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are comparing the Apple iPad Air with the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 10.1, and this is the biggest tablet of the entire Samsung Galaxy family so far. And in this video we are going to look at the pros and cons of each of these, and they are both 16 gig Wi-Fi version in white color, as you can see. Now let's start out with the screen side. The Tab 3 has a 10.1 Full HD display. The iPad Air has a 9.7 Retina display. And from this view, the Tab 3 has a horizontal orientation with their front cameras on the right bezel and the home buttons on the left bezel, while the iPad Air has a vertical orientation with the front camera on the top and home buttons on the bottom. They weigh about the same, even though the iPad Air weighs only 1 pound, but it's not a significant difference. Put it on side by side, the iPad Air is also slightly thinner compared with the Tab 3. From this angle, you can easily locate the headphone jack and one of the speakers of the Tab 3. And also you can see the power button and the headphone jack of the iPad Air. Also you can locate the dual microphone of the iPad Air. That's something new with the iPad Air. Flip to the bottom. This is where you can find the speakers of the iPad Air on both sides of the bottom edge and also the lightning port. Also you can find another speaker of the Tab 3. Flip to the right bezel of both tablets. This is where most of the buttons are located. The Tab 3 has an extra infrared blaster for universal remote control, and also the micro SD card slot for memory expansion. And also this is where you can find all the buttons of the Tab 3. And because of the horizontal orientation design, the Tab 3 USB port is located on this corner instead. It's kind of tricky. Let's move on to the build quality. The Tab 3 housing is made of mostly by high quality plastic, but it feels pretty firm and solid. And on the edges of the panel is a very nice touch of the silver trimming, but these likely to come off over time, unfortunately. Speaking of the iPad Air, it stands out with the aluminum unibody combined with the nice touch on the edges that really gives iPad Air a luxury and durable look. Let's power up these two tablets. The iPad Air is running on the A7 64-bit processor combined with the co-processor M7 that collects all the motion data. On the other hand, the Tab 3 is still running on the 1.6 GHz dual-core processor. They both have 1 GB of RAM, and so the iPad Air will perform better and more efficient compared with the Tab 3. They both boot up about the same time. The iPad Air is running on the latest iOS 7, while the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 is running on the latest Android 4.2. In this video, the brightness and the volume of both tablets are being turned to the maximum level. The Retina display of the iPad Air gives a brighter display with 264 ppi, and the Tab 3 has only 149 ppi in the display. So for casual user, then there won't be a significant difference in picture quality that can be noticed if you use a tablet for basic tasks. However, when it comes to high definition pictures, videos, and gaming, then you start seeing the difference. The touchscreen on both iPad Air and the Tab 3 are very responsive. The battery life of the Tab 3 is claimed up to 8 hours and iPad Air is claimed up to 10 hours, so it's more efficient even though there's two processors running at the same time. Speaking of the user interface, the iOS 7 now has a dedicated notification bar just like on the tablet. You can see that the Tab 3 has a lot of setting options that you can choose from and modify. And not only the iPad Air has one notification bar, it has another one that you can pull up from the bottom that allows you to access to the music control and other setting options that you can choose from. So you know, it's some nice thing that the iOS 7 comes up with. Yeah. So just like any other Android tablet, the Tab 3 is very flexible in terms of allowing the user to manipulate or customize their own user interface and the layout. So it looks more appealing and looks more interesting, and you know, you feel more flexible. And with the widgets as well, you can pull up to the front, which make everything more accessible compared with the iOS 7 that, you know, kind of restricted in terms of allowing the user to manipulate the interface and the layout. So the iOS 7 also has something new with the apps management that is quite similar to the Tab 3, and this is just allowing you to take out the application that you currently not using so that it makes the tablet run more efficiently. Now, I mentioned earlier that the touch screen is very responsive on both of the tablets, so same deal with the typing on the Tab 3 and an iPad Air. This is something that we do every day, you know, like emailing and take notes, typings. So it's I really like how, you know, everything's so responsive, sensitive when I press on each keyboard, and they both support the voice command. Type this. And for the iPad Air, it doesn't stop automatically after you speak. You actually hit the done, so it can input whatever you say, just like that. And for the Office app, the Polaris Office is built in the top 3. It allows you to create some Office documents such as Word, Excel, and a PowerPoint, and that's something the iPad Air doesn't have built in. So now we're on the setting menu of both tablets. The Tab 3, as you know, has a lot of customization option for you to choose from. Even though they take away the multi-window, in particular the Tab 3 10.1, it still have a lot to offer, such as the smart screen features and the multi-widgets, you know, in a lock screen. And the iPad Air setting is remained very simple, still very practical for any user. Another improvement that the iPad Air along with the iOS 7 has made is the Google Map. The M7 coprocessor has done a fabulous job making everything move so snap quick and smoothly, and the Tab 3 seems to be slow to respond somehow. It could be there's so much workload and so much application that put on the dual core on the Tab 3, even though it still has the Google Earth built-in, which the iPad Air needs to download separately. Now let's talk about the camera. The Tab 3 has a 1.3 megapixel front-face camera, and the iPad Air has a 1.2 megapixel front-face camera. They both take HD videos and picture. Look at that. The iPad Air seems to be brighter than the Galaxy Tab 3 camera. Now for the rear camera, the Tab 3 has a 3.2 megapixel and the iPad Air has a 5 megapixel. Shoot! And with the Galaxy Tab 3, you can take pictures using the built-in voice commands, and that's something very cool. Not only that, the Tab 3 offers a lot more features and setting options which allow users to max out photography experience. And with only a 3.2 megapixel rear camera, the Galaxy Tab 3 still takes very good quality picture and videos. Okay. Now, the iPad Air is another story. It does not have a lot of options and features like the Tab 3, but with the 5 megapixel rear camera, it takes better pictures and the autofocus seems to be faster. Now, the Tab 3 and the iPad does not support flash. What is leukemia?
Here's some information.
Google search what is leukemia on.
This is one of my favorite, watching YouTube on tablet. Both of the tablets support the Air View that allows you to stream your videos directly to your smart TV, and the Tab 3 allows you to minimize the window once you don't use it. Put these two tablets side by side, you can see that the picture quality on the iPad Air appears to be more vivid and brighter and seems to be like more bluish compared with the Tab 3. But if you don't compare side by side like this, you won't see a big difference by the way. But anyway, I'll let you guys make that judgment. And here is the Galaxy Tab 3 picture quality. And again, if you don't really compare side by side, you barely notice a big difference. About gaming experience, I'm playing the Modern Combat 4 right now, and the performance of the iPad Air is so amazing. Everything is so clean. The A7 and the M7 coprocessors are fabulous again. Wow. Now let's go to the Galaxy Tab 3. I mean, it does a good job playing the game, but still, if you notice closely, then there's a little bit of the lagging, and the sound quality of the Tab 3 cannot be compared with the iPad Air again. Okay, now let's wrap it up. So it all comes down to your personal reference to choose the right tablet for you. The iPad Air starting with $499 plus tax, which is quite pricey, but the performance is very outstanding. The Tab 3 starting with $349, but it offers a lot of features and options for you to customize with. So I'll see you guys later.